Albuquerque Adams, 7-4. A chance for a home playoff game with a win. The Los Angeles Lykens, 4-7. Out of the playoff race, but looking to close the season on a 4-game winning streak. At the end of tonight, we will know the fates of Albuquerque and the rest of the teams vying for playoff hopes. My name is Michael Torello. Happy to have your company. Mike O'Neill joins me in the broadcast booth. Mike, great to be back for SFL action. This should be a good one tonight.
Absolutely, Michael. This is going to be a great game, and there's a lot on the line tonight. Albuquerque coming into this, the 7th seed. They get a home playoff game with a win. That's a lot on the line for this team. Excited to see what LA's got in store for them. This is the Los Angeles Lykens home here, and this crowd is fired up and ready to go. Let's see what LA can do to put a stop to that win for Albuquerque that they're seeking for.
Albuquerque will get the ball first. Sunday night, under the lights, we're underway with SFL action as that ball's going to come out of the back of the end zone. Spinning his way past the 20 to the 25 is Michael Knight. And the Albuquerque Adams, led by Cyrus Jive, the former Portland player. Quarterback for many years with the Fleet, now in his first season with the Adams. He'll lead Albuquerque onto the field. Running backs are Jason Williams and Justin Williams. Ronnie Shanahan, Michael Knight, Greg Corky, and Kay Marion, the wide receivers. Jack Wall at tight end. Offensive line, Queen Porter, Jerian Jones, and Leah Williams. They'll give him the 26. That's where the Adams will start this evening. Green helmets, white jerseys, black pants, a handoff running left to Jason Williams. He breaks a tackle and gets to the second level, a 9-yard pickup on first down.
Oh, that's an excellent job there by Jason Williams. Watch him get the ball here. He's got a blocker, lead blocker there in 32. Makes a guy miss, and then he's one-on-one with the safety back there in Monty Wyatt. And really good job there on that run on first down, setting up a good second and short.
That's the Williamses combining. Justin blocking for Jason, and now it's second down and less than a yard. They'll hand the ball off, I formation. Nice jump cut in the backfield, and a first down for Albuquerque. Darren Diedrich on the first down carry.
Yeah, nice little juke move there by the backup, picking up a first down. Hey, that's the next man up mentality, Michael.
Haven't seen Cyrus Jive throw a pass yet on this first drive. 2 plays, 2 runs. Jive over almost 2,500 yards on the season. 3 plays, 3 runs now as Jason Williams goes for 3. Let's meet the Lykens defense. Defensive line, Alex Perez, Ace Blackwell, Selwyn Lane, and Nick Brummer. Kazi Blackwell is at linebacker along with Greg Ward and Grogan Spira. Devontae Moore and Mike Scott at corner. Rochelle Colston, Monte Wyatt, Ben Charles, and Eaton Moss are at safety. 2nd and 7 now for the Adams. Still have not attempted a pass this game. Shovel pass underneath. Well, that's not the way I thought they would pass the ball, but Greg Corky does have 6 yards.
Yeah, a little interesting shovel pass there. Greg Corky working an inside slant there just out of the slot, and good job by Cyrus Jive to find an opening and try and take it.
Everybody stacked up in the middle of the field on defense. That's a big old stack of defensive backs. Now they'll spread everything out. Lots of pre-snap motion for Albuquerque as the tight end goes right to left behind the under center Jive. 3rd down, hand off. Williams first down across midfield.
That's easy money right there, Michael, for Jason Williams. Really good job picking up that first down. They send the pre-snap motion, kind of throwing the defense off a little bit and then running it up the A-gap. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better run there. Good blocking.
Jive to pass. This is his first true pass of the game. It's going to be a little quick hitter to the guard, Jerian Jones, who was listed as eligible on that play. He only gets 1 yard, but already Albuquerque pulling out all the stops in the playbook here in the last week of the season. We've seen the shovel pass. We've seen the offensive lineman eligible reception. And now it's 2nd and 9. Max protect for Jive. He goes across the middle, and the pass is complete to Kay Marion. Third down and 4. Deep drop for Jive. He's going to go down. Ace Blackwell rips him down, and the Lykens will get off the field. As we wait for Mike O'Neill to get back to the game, Blackwell, just a delayed swim move right there in the middle of that defensive line and forces a punt for Albuquerque. Buzz Killington is on to punt for the Adams. Got to pin the Lykens back deep. That ball will bounce to the 10 and take a Albuquerque hop into the Lykens end zone, and it'll come out to the 25.
Yeah, excited to see what the Lykens can do on offense here. It's going to be interesting to see what they look like coming out. Sully Richardson, a top 10 in the league as far as yards goes. I mean, he's thrown for over 2,000 yards, Michael. This Albuquerque defense is something, though, so interested to see what they come out with.
Richardson, 9th in the league in passing yards, 2,291. They do start with a run, however, to Darius Iniguez. Richardson, the quarterback, Iniguez and Jalen Wells, running backs. Fullback, Dan Curtis. LZ Pryor, Chris Lee, Shea Carroll, the wide receivers. Jacob Farmer and Jack Flash at tight end. Orrin Wilds and Bob Watoska on the offensive line. I formation on 2nd and 5. The give is to Iniguez, and he breaks the tackle. Correction, that's Jalen Wells. He's off the left-hand sideline, and he finally steps out of bounds across midfield near the 45.
That was an excellent play. I didn't catch it. I didn't see if it was Seth. I think it was Seth Berlin. We'll have to watch it on the replay. 59 coming through. That's William Patterson coming through. Tries to shoot the gap and blow the play up in the backfield, but can't. And Wells takes it down the sideline, and man, they are lucky that one didn't go for 6. LA here, really, really good job. Starting off hot. I love what they're doing with the run game, getting that ready, and just kind of opening things up for Sully further on down the line.
30 yards for Wells. Richardson to pass. Pressure off the backside, and he is clobbered. Jack Napier, safety blitz.
Unbelievable. Just whatever you think. I mean, momentum is a thing, Michael. You think it's crazy. One team gets a big play, and just like that, Jack Napier comes off the outside, unblocked, completely unmanned, just on the blind side, taking down Cyrus Jive. Really good play by Albuquerque. Way to dial it up. You're in LA's house, but you just dialed up an excellent momentum changer.
2nd and 14 now, I formation. Richardson to throw again. He's got time in the pocket, going to dump it off behind his intended receiver. Dan Curtis, the fullback, does eventually come back to make the catch, but it's only 3rd and 12.
William Patterson was there to make that tackle, and it was, unfortunately, just a little bit underthrown there by Sully.
Richardson going to have to show off that gunslinger arm on 5 wide. They bring the extra man up the middle. Richardson gets the pass away. It is tipped, and it is incomplete. Excellent job by Jack Napier again. He made that entire drive, Mike.
Absolutely, yeah. Jack Napier really showing up early on, and it's always in the first quarter, these first 2 drives, Michael, that we're starting to pick out the players that are going to really have an impact here in the game. Jack Napier could be that here for Albuquerque.
And the first couple of drives, right, it's always, offense says what their pregame script is, as Albuquerque will start at the 16-yard line. And if as a defense, you can stop whatever that script is going to be, it takes you a long way towards unlocking this offense the rest of the game, because you've seen their best and then already beaten it.
Absolutely, absolutely. They always talk about what does your offense look like when your offense fails, right? That's kind of what's going on here, and it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
Both teams come up empty on drive number 1. Cyrus Jive and company back on the field. Albuquerque drive number 2, under 4.5 to go, in the first quarter. Jive throws quickly, middle, incomplete, into a crowd of bodies. Bogan Spiraw got a deflection on that one.
Yeah, he's looking for Jack Wall, but interesting. I'm interested to see what Albuquerque does with these. They've done a lot of, we've seen 3 of Cyrus Jive's passes have been short, just little dump offs. I wonder if that's something that they saw on tape this week coming into this matchup with LA.
The Adams bring an extra body on the right side of that line. Watch out for a strong side run here as they evacuate that side of the field by shifting Corky to the left.
Yeah.
They're going to throw the ball, middle, caught. Jack Wall, 9-yard pickup.
Yeah, I don't mind that. That's a really good play design. You got flip tight triple. You've got 2 tight ends on the right side. They run a little scissors concept with the tight ends on the right side. So the outside tight end goes in, the inside tight end goes out there, and that was Jack Wall on that one. He was in one-on-one with man coverage.
Flip backs on 3rd and 1. Lykens really trying to pressure the outside of that line, expecting maybe a C-gap run here. Got the
3-man front is. 3-man front could spell some problems for LA.
They're going to hand the ball off, and you're right, the 3-man front, there's nothing in the middle of that defense. And it was interesting, right? They put the linebacker on the outside, C-gap near side, and then the middle was wide open.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're going to have to. You don't want to have to rely on your linebackers to clog up the A-gaps. You got to keep it as much as you can on this 4-man front. That's where LA's bread and butter is going to be for defensive as far as the run stop goes.
Jive to the air. He's going to unload one and miss his intended receiver.
Yeah, looking for Michael Knight there crossing. I like how they're getting Michael Knight involved. It's really interesting to see how they're using him. Obviously using him in the return game, but here you see him in the slot running a dig route, and obviously good coverage by LA to kind of disrupt that. And we got that flip tight triple set again here, Michael.
Knight coming into the game, 13 catches, 243 yards and a touchdown. He's also carried the ball 17 times for 60 yards and 3 touchdowns. Look out! Evacuate the dance floor in the backfield as Cyrus Jive gets his rear end planted to the turf. Another sack early on in this game, now 3 combined.
Yeah, that's Brogan Spearall coming off the edge there. And you see the left tackle just completely missed it. Just completely missed that blitz pickup. And, man, that was really good job by LA. This crowd is loud right now. They do not want Albuquerque to convert this 3rd and 12.
3rd and 12, Jive looking middle. Great defense in the middle of the field, looking for Kay Marion. But she could not haul it in, and Albuquerque will be forced to punt for the 2nd time. Mike, it feels like this may be a defensive slugfest here on Sunday night.
Certainly looking that way. Definitely looking that, both of these teams are going to kind of have to find their footing. This is always normally the shaping of a good game. In the first quarter, like you were talking about earlier, the scripted offense, right? Whenever a team has a set of plays that they come out with and things that they want to run, what does their offense look like after that's kind of shifted? And kudos to the defensive coordinators of both these teams, because so far offense has been non-existent.
Stat that really caught my eye while doing the preparation for this game was Los Angeles is in the bottom 3rd of offenses in the league at just 18 points per game. But if you just go up 5 points at 23 points per game, Albuquerque is 5th in the league in points per game. That's how tight a lot of these teams are statistically.
Yeah, it is. It is very, very tight.
2 receivers plus the tight end to the right. Richardson rolls that way, pressure in his face, and he completes it down the middle. Running free inside the 20, 15 down to the 10. Chris Lee with a massive pickup that puts the Lykens in the red zone.
Amar Bryant Jr. one-on-one right there with Chris Lee. Chris Lee, I've called a couple of LA games this season, and Chris Lee has been magnificent. Right there, ABJ in coverage, man coverage, and just whiffs on it. He tries to undercut the route, can't do it, and Chris Lee's got a wide open space to take it down an extra 20 yards or so. And man, don't look now, but LA is in the red zone, and this is something to see.
56 yards on the reception for Chris Lee. Richardson rolls right, throws end zone. It almost looked like the ref got a piece of that one as it falls incomplete. But Chris Lee, top 5 in the league in receiving yards this season. If he has a big game today, he might go over 1,000 for the season, coming in with 936.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Now, 2nd and goal, and we're seeing them come out again in shotgun here. It must be something that they're seeing. You've got so many in the box right here.
They bring everybody, and Richardson goes down all the way back at the 20-yard line.
Wow. Unbelievable job there. Just when you think LA's offense has something that Albuquerque's defense can't counter, look out, because Albuquerque's sending the heat, and that was number 95, Cedric Killings there. backup defensive tackle coming in and getting some action there and picking up a huge stop here for Albuquerque. Now this is a long
goal
third
from
down.
the 19. Yep, 5 wide. 4-man rush for Albuquerque. The offensive line picks it up. Richardson has a shot, and it's off the fingertips of the receiver at the goal line. LZ Pryor couldn't haul it in.
LZ Pryor just trying to go up high and get it there and just couldn't come down with it. Great coverage there by number 54, Seth Berlin.
Yeah, it took a little bump there in the middle of the field that messed up that route timing ever so slightly.
Yeah, Brian James is the one who came in and cleaned it up, and good stop. That's a big stop for Albuquerque.
LA forced to try a field goal with the rookie John Smith. That one is straight down Main Street, 3-0 LA. Smith continues his perfect rookie campaign, 15 out of 15 with a 46-yard long on the year.
Finally got some points on the board now.
Yeah.
Still, the defense shows up, though. Unbelievable. Defenses so far have been good. I mean, outside of the explosives, right? We've had a couple explosives for LA, but defenses came to play today.
Yep. And even after the 56-yard reception by Chris Lee, right? Credit to Albuquerque's defense. Bend, don't break. They kept him out of the end zone. 4 plays on the drive for Los Angeles, ending in that field goal, and Albuquerque comes back on the field. The Adams, having one of the better offenses in the league, have not started well this evening. Just 33 total yards in their first 2 drives.
Yeah, it's just something they've got to figure it out.
Flip backs behind Jive on first down. Cyrus, middle of the field, great crossing pattern to Greg Corky for a 12-yard pickup and a first down.
Yeah, that's more like it. Doing a really good job there. Greg Corky was working on Devontae Moore, number 21. It was just man coverage, just an arrow route across the middle, so you know Corky's got the advantage there, and really good job by Cyrus Jive to throw that in front of him, and great job there.
Great block by the running back, Jason Williams. He was on the blind side of Cyrus Jive, and he did enough to let his quarterback get that pass away and move the sticks up to the 40. Jive to pass again, and he way overthrows the intended receiver on a go route. Corky again.
Yeah, it looked like LA on that one sent 6 with a 3-man front, mind you. Pretty crazy. I have a feeling that this deep ball might be hard to come by here for Albuquerque because of the stunts that LA's pulling up front.
2nd and 10 as we're under a minute to go first quarter. Pre-snap motion sends Jack Wall, the tight end, into the slot on the left-hand side. Jive completes, but a great stand by the Lykens defense means it's 3rd and 2. Didn't give up the first down as the catch was made by Marion.
Yeah, it was a good stop by LA, but I got to give kudos to Albuquerque, just running K. Marion on a nice little hitch route, you know, trying to get your receivers the ball.
They're going to throw on 3rd and 2. Comebacker caught by Marion for a first down into LA territory.
Yeah, I love it. You go back to Marion again, feed the hot hand. Watch this, just working one-on-one again with 21. And look at it's just a timing route. That ball was thrown before K. Marion had turned around completely.
Devontae Moore in coverage with Marion. And it's interesting that Albuquerque, after their first 2 drives, has almost completely abandoned the rush. Only 26 rushing yards so far. Most of that on one Jason Williams carry. As I say that, they go back to Williams, and he picks up 3 off tackle left-hand side.
It's perfect timing, isn't it? It's always funny how it works out.
Yeah, and that's the end of the first quarter. Defensive slugfest, stacks galore, but it's 3-0 Lykens as a couple of big plays have gone their way early. This is the SFL on YouTube. Second quarter action from Los Angeles coming up. Michael Torello calling all the action for you alongside Mike O'Neill. Axel Raven and Ron Haynes on stats tonight. Cameron Irvine, as always, producer extraordinaire. And first play of quarter number 2, they go back to the intermediate passing game, and they connect with the tight end, Jack Wall.
Yeah, that was a really, really pretty play. You see Jack Wall running a post there, and it's just zone coverage. And you see it just finds the hole in between the coverage, behind the corners and right in front of the strong safety. Really good job there by Cyrus Jive, placing that in the right place at the right time.
Jive, quick pass, complete. And you were questioning earlier, like, these quick dump-off passes to the middle. Well, this is where they can come in handy.
Absolutely, and I think we're seeing that come into effect. I think LA coming out here in this 3-man front, and they're dropping people back into zones, and I think that Cyrus Jive is just trying to find these holes. He's getting into a rhythm of what kind of coverages they're playing, and he's trying to play it against them.
I formation, 3-man front, they're going to run. Williams stacked up and dropped. Needed 2, got 1. Greg Ward with the tackle.
Greg Ward coming in and making a really big tackle there. This is an important 3rd down. And LA here is in a 4-man front, so the run up the middle is not going to come as easy, Michael.
I don't know if I'm Albuquerque, I still go back to the run, which they do, and they pick it up. I know we don't have time, but I'd love to go slow-mo that and look at how the offensive line blocked, because Jack Wall was on the far right side, and he almost acted like a pulling guard, ended up in the middle of the formation.
Yeah, it was great.
1st and 10 now at the 11-yard line. Can get a first down inside the 1. Jive looking middle, complete to Corky for 5.
Yeah, and so far that route has been working really, really well for Corky. I mean, it's just running like a quick slant, and Jive just knows where to put the ball there to be able to take advantage of whatever coverage they're going up against. Really good job so far, and it's a good opportunity for him.
Jive, handoff, Williams fights through an arm tackle and gets to the 3-yard line. Cyrus Jive, 2nd in the league in passing touchdowns right now, with 16 coming into the last week of the season. He wants number 17. He throws it into the flat, and Williams comes up short.
That was excellent. Excellent play call by LA. I mean, watch this, Michael. We're going to get a replay of this, and this was unbelievable. Oh, we're not going to get a replay. Well, let me just preface this by saying they dropped 6 into coverage whenever they were showing blitz, and they were stuffing the middle, had everybody in the box, and dropped into coverage, and that was the perfect play call. They knew Albuquerque was going to pass.
Well, goal line stand for Albuquerque begets a goal line stand for Los Angeles. 13 plays, 77 yards, and we are tied at 3 after the chip-chop field goal by Ricky Bobby.
And this looks like a classic, West Coast matchup here between two teams out west, and man, they're not too far in distance as far as miles go, and I think it feels a little bit like a rivalry, Michael.
Definitely one of the shorter road trips that Albuquerque has been on this season. They looked at Bossier City in Louisiana, at Indianapolis, at Arizona is probably a shorter trip, at Baltimore cross country, at Atlanta cross country trip. They've put in the miles in their inaugural SFL Major League season.
Nonetheless, an impressive debut for Albuquerque this season.
Yeah. Locked into the playoffs at 7-4. A win guarantees the Adams a home playoff game. They could also get one if results are screwy elsewhere, if Indianapolis and Mexico City both win. Sully Richardson on first down, takes a shot, triple coverage, it's caught.
Wow. We talked about Chris Lee. Chris Lee on the 56-yard completion earlier. How about this one? Sully Richardson rolls out to his right. He literally just tells Chris Lee, it's a 9, they call it a 9 route, a fly route. Just as far as you can, downfield, get open. And I mean, they're playing backyard football out here. Sully Richardson's been doing this all season, and you can tell that chemistry between him and Chris Lee is there.
Richardson said, he's down there somewhere. They'll pitch it left side. Iniguez. That's a nice run to the outside for 7 yards as we've got a game update with Cameron Irvine in the studio.
Thank you, Torillo. Carolina trying to wrap up a playoff appearance, but not with interceptions like that. Anthony Wyo, the ageless veteran, takes it in, but Carolina takes a 14-7 lead into the third quarter. Back to you.
Thank you, Kim. Jalen Wells picks up a first down for LA off of that run. And I mentioned that Chris Lee was close to breaking 1,000 receiving yards for the season. He's done it on just 2 catches. As he's got 88 yards on 2 grabs in the contest. Trips left, nobody out to the right. Richardson rolls strong side and almost throws an interception. Wow. JT Frosty had that ball bounce off his hands, 2nd and 10. Not really the play call I'd go for in the red zone.
That was unbelievable. I mean, Albuquerque had no chill at all on that play. They just sent like 7 defenders, and there was 2 of them unmanned. So good job. Actually, kudos to getting that ball.
All-out blitz. Same formation for LA, just flipped to the near side of the field. Richardson will roll that way. This time he's got time to launch it in the air. And this time Chris Lee can't hang on through the contact provided by Frosty. 2 straight plays. The 5th-year veteran, former Chicago Warrior, TJ Frosty.
That was the same exact play. They tried to go back to it.
And now they've got the same formation dialed up again on 3rd and 10. Richardson with time, throwing, and this time Lee says, I'll have some of that at the 2-yard line.
Michael, I don't even know where to start. This is unbelievable by Soli. They saw something on tape that they're taking advantage of. They're putting Chris Lee inside on that bunch, and they're just sending him on go routes. They're making it look, I mean, they're making it really, really difficult to cover him using these bunch formations and things like that. And that was Bryant James in coverage there. Just couldn't come up with the breakup.
111 on 3 catches with 4 targets for Chris Lee in this first half. LA trying to take the lead, but spinning away is Iniguez, and he might actually lose a yard there. It's Frosty again with the tackle. It's been his drive defensively for the Adams.
Yeah, TJ Frosty's been heck of a player out there today, coming up with some really clutch tackles.
Frosty has 3 picks on the season and 6 passes defended. They'll run it up the middle. Jalen Wells, touchdown, Los Angeles. The Lykens strike back with the quickness in this 2nd quarter.
And how about the pivot here? I mean, you can see Albuquerque there. They literally showed that they were going to stack the box and they were going to play the run. They dropped back into coverage, and LA saw it. They could smell it from a mile away, and they ran it directly up the middle, completely untouched into the end zone. That's what you need to do if you want to win this football game if you're the Lykens.
Rushing touchdown number 7 on the year for Jalen Wells. That puts him top 10 in the SFL. Wells also has a touchdown receiving on 6 catches on the season, so they get him involved any way they can. Jalen Wells, he's been around the league a long time. I remember back when he was playing for the Sioux Falls Sparrows all the way back in the day. Just a storied career, 10th
Easy,
SFL
Michael.
season for Wells.
Showing your age.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Mike and Mike Show.
Don't remind me that I just had a birthday and I'm now 1 year older. Uh-oh, we've got a marker on the field on the return.
Yeah, pushing them back a little bit.
Clipping call. What do you want to see out of the Albuquerque offense this time? Because they drove all the way down the field, but just couldn't make it happen in the red zone.
Well, I just feel like it's a matter of time. They're setting up an explosive. They're really utilizing and working like the hitch routes and the quick slants and the underneath stuff. I think they're really just poised for a big explosive play here.
Ball in motion. Now he's on the right side of that line. Tight end wearing number 81. Oh, it was almost picked by Tazzy Blackwell as she reached up to swat that one down.
Yeah, this is where you talk about seeing the true colors of an offense here. They've been working that inside slant to Corky all day, right? All night so far. Now, whenever that gets shut down, you see Tazzy Blackwell was in perfect coverage. Now, what do they go to?
I still think they need to try and run the ball more against these three-man fronts.
I agree. They definitely need to get the run game going against and take advantage of this odd front here.
But Jive's going to pass. And he's going to find the receiver.
Wow.
Reaching down was Kay Marion, makes the catch around her ankle, sets up 3rd and 1.
Yeah, it was a good play. It was a dangerous play, but it was a good play call there by Albuquerque. But you got to run the ball here on 3rd and short. You got to get, you got some good backs in the backfield with both the Williams. You got to get the ground game going for sure, like you said.
Lots of pre-snap motion for Albuquerque. Pretty much on every play, they've got somebody moving. 3rd and 1, they will run it. And breaking a tackle and getting to the outside is Jason Williams. He's finally dragged down near the 35 by Ben Charbs.
And that's the kind of explosiveness that you need to see out of your backs. That was an excellent job by Jason Williams getting to the outside there. Look at the blocking on the outside, Michael. Not just one block, but letting go. The defender breaks off the block, and he goes and picks up the block again. That is looking for work. That's what you call looking for work, and good job there by Albuquerque's offense getting that run and setting Jason Williams up for a really good run.
We're talking about dominating the line of scrimmage with the run game. Albuquerque has gone away from it on these last 2 drives, but that time LA makes an adjustment. It's a loss of 1.
Yeah, and that's unfortunately the difficulty of having a backup in there. If you don't have your star back there, it's, you got to raise the question, if Jason Williams is in there, is that a few yard pickups at least?
Now the Adams behind the sticks. Jive, great pocket, and the pickup, plus the flag for Jack Wall. That'll move the Adams up close to midfield.
Yeah, you can't give that up. If you're LA, you got to play disciplined. You can't give that up. Albuquerque's getting into a rhythm here. They just had a big run, right? They're consistent with the pass game. You got to play discipline. You're up 7 points right now.
They go back to the middle of the field. And Greg Corky picks up 12 and another first down.
Yeah. Don't listen to anything I say, because that inside slant just worked like to perfection. Yeah. Unbelievable job by Albuquerque getting that dialed up again.
And they've run it with receivers. They've run it with tight ends. They've run it from the outside, from the slot, from the inside. They've got so many ways of disguising this same route. Jive, this time on the screen to Williams. He's got plenty of room to run, and he actually picks up the first down.
Well, this is beautiful. You're setting your opponent up right here. When we get a look at this, they've been hitting the middle of the field all day, right? Everybody's eyes are in the middle of the field because of all the slant routes and everything. And what do? You send Jason Williams out on the flat. Great job.
2 minutos remaining in the first quarter. As we get the 2-minute warning, Albuquerque trying to tie this thing up here on the last week of the season. From inside the 20 in a drive that started all the way back. Oh, Jason Williams, nobody touched him. Touchdown! Thrilliams is into the end zone.
That was unbelievable. Well, you could have asked for a better play call at a better moment there. Watch Jason Williams just right up the middle. The A-gap's completely wide open. Look at the blocking there by the offensive line, and nobody's there. That is green grass. That's straight into the end zone. That's easy money right there for Jason Williams. Big play there for Albuquerque.
Wow. One play after the 2-minute warning. I don't think I've ever seen a running back not be touched on a run like that. That was a practice drill.
That was unbelievable. You're setting it. Really, really good job. And in LA's defense, they did just hit a big play into the flat to Jason Williams, right? They brought pressure. They wanted to bring pressure. And we know that they've hit home a couple times on sacks outside from the outside linebackers blitzing. So they're doing what was working for them. And Albuquerque was just one step ahead. They knew it was coming.
Good return, though, for LA. up to the 36, and it's a 10-10 ball game, 1:23 to go in the second quarter. The SFL convention is headed to Baltimore for the 2025 convention, kicking off the league's 25th anniversary season, July 10th through 14th. Join SFL Nation at the rooftop pool of our host hotel, the Hyatt Regency, looking out onto Baltimore's Inner Harbor and revel in the league's first convention on the East Coast. You can reserve your room now at a special group rate at simfl.net. 10-all here. Lykens back to work. Richardson the handoff, and Lykens has been no love from the Albuquerque defense as Bryant James makes the tackle. We go back to Cameron Irvine in the studio. Hopefully something good about the Skyhawks there, Cam?
Well, look at this. A punt from Carolina. It was still 14-7 midway through the third, but Skippy Curtis dislodges the football. And Harish Prasad, Sully Richardson just threw an interception. Harish Prasad takes it back for the touchdown. He already had 2 rushing touchdowns tonight. Carolina leads Indy 21-7, but Indy's in the red zone. Back to you, Trillo.
Like landmines going off everywhere while we were in the game break. Frosty, who's already had a terrific game, 4 tackles, a pass deflection, and now an interception.
Unbelievable job. Yeah, that was just an overthrow by Sully Richardson, and TJ Frosty knew what was coming. I mean, you think about Sully Richardson and where this offense has looked, right? They've been going deep to Chris Lee. So Albuquerque says, we're going to sit back a little bit. TJ Frosty capitalizes right there.
And now the LA defense, tired as they might be, have to go right back on the field, and Jive takes advantage, hitting Greg Corky with a one-handed laser beam of a catch inside the 30-yard line.
Again, Greg Corky in the middle of the field. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but it's been nuts. You see Jive's numbers there, and man, he's been pretty good tonight, Michael.
First time we've seen an offset look in the backfield for Albuquerque tonight. But they'll throw again. Jive! Ooh, almost had that one picked off, and Corky couldn't hang on to it.
Yeah, just trying to hit Corky on a comeback route. Just again, trying to feed that hot hand, and good job on the pass breakup from LA, and really good defense there. Setting up a 2nd and long. You just got to slow it down. You got to slow this down, right? It's a really close game. If you're LA, just play smart here. Got to play disciplined.
Same formation. Jive looks. He's got Wall down to the 11. Middle of the field's been open all night for Albuquerque so far.
Yeah, they drop back. LA dropped back into a cover 2 shell, and they had man underneath, and just really good job there by the offense finding a hole in the zone and just kind of sitting in front of it.
At the 11-yard line, Albuquerque underneath, Jack Wall to the 6. They'll go up-tempo here. They like this matchup, try to force a tired LA defense off the field. They set up the screen. Williams trying to get to the edge. He's in! Touchdown, Albuquerque!
Oh my goodness, Michael, I don't even know what to make of that play. First of all, let's talk about the blitzer off the edge. And Cyrus Jive has the awareness to get that ball off, not just get it off, but float it over the defender. And now we're getting a review on this. That's going to be close.
It looked to me like he was short from our angle. We'll see if the retroactive review of the play presented by Retroid. Get a console to play the SFL on the go at goretroid.com. Let's see if the replay sheds any further light on it. Oh, that's a worse angle than we had before. From behind him.
Yeah, that's a terrible angle. Good job by him. Yeah.
Player did not cross the line, so it's going to be 1st and goal Albuquerque. But again, not much of a consolation for LA.
How about let's talk about Monty Wyatt on that tackle, pulling him back, right? Almost horse collar-esque, but pulling him back to not get into the end zone. That's a heck of an effort by number 33.
Single back on 1st and goal. Jive may be looking to throw this. Watch the motion, man. Kay Marion in the slot. Nobody's covering him, or her, excuse me. Jive goes down! And now 2nd and goal back at the 3. Dive on a rollout, throws backside. It's intercepted
Wow.
off a deflection. The
Wow.
Lykens hold inside the 5.
Oh my, Michael, watch this. 21 plays underneath. That's number 21, Devontae Moore, plays underneath. The initial deflection happens, and then he turns around and dives and makes that interception. You want to talk about awareness as a defensive back? Listen, I know there's a lot of people that give defensive backs slack, but that was excellent. That was A++ there for Devontae Moore.
I mean, you got to question the play calling, though. How you don't run with Jason Williams when you're inside the 1 yard line. You have 3 attempts at it.
Yeah,
and
that's
also the passes they called, right? For first time, nobody was open, and
well, look, just let me play devil's advocate. You know, you got one of your best receivers up top in one-on-one man coverage. I mean, you can't ignore that. I understand, but you got a great back in the backfield ready to run the ball, and that's got to be your first option. If you're that close to the end zone, that's got to be your first priority. Just hand the rock. I mean, you've had success running up the middle in short yardage situations to this point.
Meanwhile, LA has got pretty much nothing done on this drive. It's 3rd and 9. And if the already tired Lykens defense doesn't want to have to come on the field already, Richardson's going to have to pull a rabbit out of his hat here. Sully pressured backside underneath. What a great check down. First down, Lykens. Shea Carroll coming across the middle. And he'll pick up the first down, a much needed first down for
Yeah, it's
LA.
a big play. Big play for LA.
And that's the end of the first half. Wow. This for a 10-10 game at halftime, Mike O'Neill, a lot has happened. Break this one down for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, let's talk about the offense has kind of started off slow on both sides, right? And then you see LA kind of creep in, start to figure things out. First of all, Chris Lee has been exceptional in the pass game. We've kind of seen him quiet down a little bit in here. I wonder if we're going to see that again. Seems like Albuquerque's gotten a lock on that, but I mean, Albuquerque to come back and after being down 7 and come back and drive downfield and get the touchdown there is huge. I mean, I don't know if I can make any adjustments. Maybe Albuquerque needs to run the ball more. I would say that. If you're LA, go back to Chris Lee, right? Figure out how to get him the ball more because he's been exceptional tonight. Again, Albuquerque's just got to run the football, kind of get things going because they've had the passing game, short game on lock.
I'll tell you what the big stat that I see is. The LA Lykens have 159 yards of total offense. Chris Lee has 111 of those yards on 3 catches.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think they have to go back to Chris Lee as they'll start at their own 30 as we get the second half underway. Kind of sloppy on both sides. Defenses mostly having their way in that first half. Couple of big plays, obviously Lee. Jason Williams with a big touchdown run up the middle.
Wow.
18
Here's that bunch
yards.
set.
Yeah, this is where LA scored that touchdown. They ran this set 3 straight times with motion out of it.
You got Lee at the top of the bunch there.
Elsie Pryor goes to the opposite side. Richardson rolls, throws, wide open. Chris Lee angles out of bounds.
I'll tell you what, I don't know, I can't recall, Michael, the last time that I called a game where a receiver had this dominant of a performance. I mean, they are respecting him. You see how far off those DBs are playing from Chris Lee? They don't want to get beat.
First and 10 for the Lykens. First possession of half number 2. Remember the stakes here. Handoff. Wells, who's been the better of the 2 Lyken running backs, picks up 7. The stakes on this game, Albuquerque with a win secures a home playoff game. LA playing for pride, playing to end the season on a 4-game winning streak and take some momentum into that long off season, those long, cold winter months. They'll run the ball again. Oh, Iniguez got out of a tackle in the backfield and picks up a first down. I thought that play was dead on arrival.
Absolutely, and kudos to Albuquerque's defense for being able to stop that and keep Iniguez, force Iniguez back inside and kind of bring him down, because if he would have gotten around that last tackle, he would have been down the sideline.
Rifling it to nowhere is Sully Richardson. That looked like, I'm not sure what that looked like. It was not a good pass.
It looked like a miscommunication between the wide receiver and the quarterback. It was a little bit off. Sully hasn't been able to, we haven't seen Sully do that too often tonight.
All right, they go with the bunch set again. Richardson has rolled that direction every time. Now they motion out of it. Lee's one-on-one near side here.
On an island.
But they're going to go the other way. Richardson caught in a crowd by Elsie Pryor. They went for the difficult pass, but Pryor comes up with it.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see, it was one-on-one on the other side with Lee, but how about Elsie Pryor on the cut? Sully Richardson throws that on Pryor's break, and Pryor just goes up and gets it. That's a really, really well-designed time route.
The numbers for Richardson don't look all that impressive, just 7 for 15, but he's made the throws when they've mattered. And another first down for the Lykens. He's got time in the pocket. He's going to sling it. Oh, what a hit. Pryor almost had another catch, and Brian James says absolutely not.
I think Brian James taking out frustration of giving up a touchdown earlier on there on Elsie Pryor. That was a really good job there by the defensive back.
2nd and 10. First time the Lykens on this drive have not picked up yards on first down. Pryor, short post, taking a page out of the Adams playbook. Now 3rd down and 4. LA in field goal range, but I'm sure they want to be aggressive here. Keep those chains moving down into the red zone. Split backs, 3 receivers, extra pressure coming from Albuquerque. It's picked up by the O-line. Richardson with time, and Lee at the 5 on a deep cross has the catch.
And who else, right? Who else in this situation? When Sully Richardson's got to extend the play, roll outside of the pocket, who else? Who other than Chris Lee is going to make this play, right? He comes on a dig across the field, completely across the field, and at that point, the receivers are just running around, scramble drill. Good job there by Chris Lee to come up with that, and 1st and goal for LA.
1st and goal at the 4. We've seen Wells score a touchdown from close in tonight. This time, it's Iniguez, and he gets to the 1.
It's a great stop by Albuquerque's defense, shutting down Iniguez there, and 2nd and goal. And Michael, I don't know about you, but this crowd is ready for a touchdown for the home team here.
LA in I formation. It's a pitch to Wells. He walks in. Touchdown, Lykens. Jalen Beanie Wells, his 2nd touchdown of the night, puts him at 8 rushing touchdowns on the season, and the Lykens take the lead midway through the 3rd.
That was excellent. Excellent job. Excellent play call by LA to go outside with the toss, go old school. And how about number 47, Dan Curtis, getting the seal block on the outside to make sure nobody else was following Wells into the end zone. That was a great play by LA.
Smith, the extra point up and good to cap off a 70-yard drive for the LA Lykens. Break into the world of sports memorabilia collecting with Breaks GPT, featuring signed football jerseys, helmets, photos, and more. Breaks GPT offers you the shot at winning autographed and authenticated sports memorabilia at a fraction of the price. Join the community of collectors on our Breaks GPT Facebook page and lock in your shot at hitting a humongous headliner at breaksgpt.com. Shanahan can't break away on that return, and Albuquerque starts at their own 26, facing a deficit for the 3rd time in this game.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they dial up here. I mean, this is a big drive, right? You don't want all the momentum to start going towards LA. They've already got home field advantage, and if you're Cyrus Jive, you got continue to play the way that you've been playing. I like the short dump-off passes. Get the run game going, though.
Looks like they're going to be aggressive on first down, 4 wide. And again, they just come back to a curl route and pick up 7 as we go back to Cameron Irvine in the studio. It's been a wild one out there in Carolina, hasn't it?
And this a 32-yard field goal for Indianapolis, Torillo. Woo! Wide left. No good. Carolina up 14 with 6 minutes left, trying to secure a playoff spot. Back to you.
Thank you, Cam. Toss. Williams didn't get the first down. Good contact.
Yeah, Monte Wyatt.
Yeah, Monte Wyatt.
It's been so good in the run game tonight. We talked about that touchdown-saving tackle earlier, right? But right there, forcing a third down, Monte Wyatt's been really good in the run game.
Again, 3-man front against the I formation.
Yeah.
But this time the defense gets home. Greg Ward, not in my house. 4th down.
Yeah, Albuquerque tried to get cute with it and tried to go outside. You gotta, if you see a 3-man front, you gotta hit the A gaps there. You just have to. Albuquerque, it's unfortunate for them because now they're giving up an opportunity and giving an LA team that's got some momentum back to football.
Fair catch called for by Lee. The 23rd edition of the SFL playoffs starts Saturday, October 26th and Sunday, October 27th, with a pair of double headers at 6:30 and 9 p.m. Eastern. Catch all the action here on SFL YouTube. Get your first look at the postseason matchups on the Monday Night Spectacular postgame with Chris Curtis and Tyler Falk. That's tomorrow. Playoffs already here next
Playoffs
weekend. We are indeed talking about playoffs.
Oh.
It's October now, right? Can
Yeah.
they change the name of the show to the Monday Night Spooktacular at some point?
Oh, I like that. You got some good ideas here.
Second down and 6. 31-yard line. Split backs. Everybody on the O-line. They run the pitch, and Iguez trying to get to the outside, and he does break a couple of tackles and fall forward to move the chains.
Yeah, and Iguez is known. He's not known as a power back, right? He's a speedster, and good job there from the speedster, getting to the outside, but then making a guy miss and breaking a tackle. That was number 20 there, TJ Frosty, who's had a really good night. And breaking that tackle is really, really, really good. Getting to the first down, really excellent job extending this drive, and look out for this bunch set.
Here it is again on 1st and 10 from the 40. Richardson rolls right, plants his feet, and connects to Pryor into Albuquerque territory, 45.
Yeah, Pryor has kind of taken over that role from Chris Lee so far in the second half. It's like the defense is expecting Chris Lee, and Sully's like, well, you know what? We've got somebody else on the other side that can do the same thing. So we're going to go there. And really good job from LA, continuing to just really impress in the pass game. They've had an explosive pass game tonight.
And when they run that bunch set to the short side of the field, it creates so much chaos on the defensive side, right?
Yeah.
Who do I mark? Who do I cover? Whose man is that? And has been open pretty much every time. 3-yard run from Iniguez on first down. A couple of scenario updates from Cam in the studio. If Carolina wins, which they are in position to do so, and Albuquerque loses, then 2 different scenarios come about depending on the game tomorrow night, Mexico City and Nashville. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll keep the ball on the ground with Wells and bring up 3rd and 4. If Mexico wins tomorrow night and the results tonight hold, Carolina hosts Albuquerque as the 8-9 game next weekend. If Nashville wins, Carolina has to go on the road because Nashville will jump all the way to number 8.
Wow.
Richardson, plenty of time against that 3-man front, and Pryor's open again. I'm not sure how, if you drop everybody back in coverage and only rush 3, LZ Pryor keeps getting open on that same route.
Well, I'll tell you how. They run LZ Pryor underneath. You got Chris Lee right in front of LZ Pryor. You see that? That's going to pull any safety back, right? So the safety gets pulled back, and Sully knows. I mean, that was a well-designed play. They knew exactly that everybody would be looking on Chris Lee, at Chris Lee deep, and they run LZ Pryor right underneath Chris Lee. That's a genius play call.
Already 6 plays, 51 yards on the drive. Draw. Wells to the 13-yard line, pickup of 5. That's the first time we've seen the kind of interior trap style handoff.
Yeah, and it was a really good play call. I mean, it worked excellent. Just a draw up the middle, pick up 5 yards. Now the playbook's wide open on second down.
This time it is Iniguez, and he's got first and goal at the 5. They're really running hard off that right tackle, Orrin Wilds.
Yeah, Wilds had a really good game blocking up front so far, and that's a really good job by LA by recognizing that and continuing to attack the same place.
They'll hand the ball again. Wells doesn't get much of anything on that one. Nice tackle by William Patterson, the former Atlanta Swarm player in his rookie season. Now in his second year in the league, makes the tackle.
Look at that.
9 carries, 54, 2 touchdowns. That's a efficient night of work for Jalen Wells.
Yeah. Albuquerque might drop. They might drop into coverage.
Nope, everybody comes up the middle, and they tried to go outside. Good coverage by Napier, the safety, to stay in his gaps, and it's 3rd and goal.
Well, good job for Albuquerque, because last time they had that same look. They dropped into coverage and they gave up a wide open run just directly up the middle.
3rd and goal. This time they put one receiver each side to try and spread the defense out a little bit, and it doesn't work at all. Chris Porter stops that play before it even really gets going and denies Jalen Wells a 3rd touchdown on the night. And LA is going to have to attempt a chip shot field goal. From 21. John Smith is 2 for 2 tonight, 16 of 16 on the season, and it's a 2-score lead for the Lykens, the largest gap either team has had this evening.
Yeah, it's a
Albuquerque's offense has kind of sputtered in this 3rd quarter, Mike. What do they have to do to try and get back in this one?
Yeah, I mean, it really is it's gonna depend a lot on what kind of defensive front LA shows. Whenever you're talking about Albuquerque getting back into this one, we talk about getting the run game going again, but let's be honest, they need to go back to what was working for them, right? If that's finding those quick slants up the middle to Corky, they need to go back to that. They just need to drive the ball down the field and score.
1st and 10, they go back to Williams, and he is stacked up and drilled. The main man on the defensive front was Greg Ward. He's had a couple of big stops tonight.
Yeah, Greg Ward is an absolutely great game tonight. Really good job stuffing the run.
Outside that 18-yard run for the touchdown for Jason Williams, hasn't really gotten a lot of love on the ground. Jive, middle, wall, catch, 1st down, 15 yards.
Yeah, and you can see that they're going back to it. Now they need to, I mean, if I were Albuquerque, I'm trying to continue to exploit this middle. I mean, you see it right there. Got inside leverage, just running a quick little skinny post right down the middle on the seam. And
the safety's sitting so far back.
Yeah, that's why they're taking advantage of it. The safety, they know the safeties are going to sit back.
4's up. It's time for the final frame. LA trying to hang on and close their season with 4 straight victories. Albuquerque needs to find a comeback if they want a home playoff game. This is the Simulation Football League on YouTube.
The Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Alongside Ron Haynes and Axel Raven on stats, Kevin Irvine, producer extraordinaire, and Mike O'Neill alongside me in the broadcast booth. My name is Michael Turillo. Happy to have your company as Jason Williams breaks a tackle, is dragging Blackwell close to another 1st down, and he will pick it up.
Yeah, that was excellent. Watch Jason Williams get to the outside. Not only does he get the first stiff arm right there, great job dragging Blackwell across that 1st down marker. And you want to talk about a hard-nosed football player that's going to carry you whenever you need it. Jason Williams has been that for a long time in the SFL.
5.5 yards a carry for Jason Williams tonight. Jalen Wells on the other side, 5.8. Here's the backup running back. And again, if that's Williams at full speed, he probably hits that hole, but it's only a gain of 1 as Charbs closed it up.
Yeah, you got to hope for a little bit more than that again. That was a backup coming in, but now they got coming out in the same formation. They got to make something happen.
2nd and 9, they overload the right-hand side of that line. And, oh, I see the idea. They tried to get the tight end in the slot on the seam route and was just overthrown by Jive, 3rd and 9.
Yeah, well, they actually called that play earlier, and that play worked, where it's that scissors concept where that inside tight end, in this case Jack Wall, was trying to run that out route or that corner route, and they tried to go back to it. LA was prepared for it. Watch the middle of the field here.
3 by 2. The receivers on 3rd and 9. Jive, a 4-man front. He's launching it. It's fumbled on the play. Picked up by LA. I think this one's going to be reviewed, though. I'm not sure that Greg Corky made a football move.
Yeah, I don't think he did, Michael. I think that was too close to call. I don't think that he goes. Yeah. No, I think that's just a pass. That's going to get overturned.
But it's still going to be a 3 and out, or sorry, a 3 and a 3 and sorry, I'm going to start all over. It's late. A punt coming up for Albuquerque. It was not a 3 and out. They did pick up 1 first down. I've called a lot of football this weekend, Mike.
Hey, you know what? You also traveled from Florida to Los Angeles, so it's a long flight.
That was a retroactive look at that play presented by Retroid. Get your console to play the SFL on the go at GoRetroid.com. And the ruling on the field is overturned, so it's not a fumble. Speaking of, if you're someone who travels a lot like me, whether for work or pleasure, get yourself a Retroid. You can play the SFL video game, pretend you are in the game. You can help your team scout. I've got my Retroid.
Big one.
Take it on the plane with me.
So handy.
4th down and 9. And a punt away again. The offense for Albuquerque in this second half has just sputtered and died. We've got a final game update, I think, from Carolina. How did that one end, Cam?
It was 24-17. Torillo Indy almost made a comeback, but this onside kick is recovered and taken to the house, and Carolina is in the playoffs. A 31-17 final.
You can't see it, but I am pumping my fist in celebration. Good job, Carolina. I'll talk to y'all later. 20-10 here with 8:56 to go in the 4th. Albuquerque hanging on for dear life. They needed to stop, and in a big way, and that's a good way to go about starting to do it, as Patterson hits Wells, for no yards.
Yeah, it was a really good play. Stopping that and containing that, that's exactly what they need. They have to force LA into long situations.
Richardson escapes. He's going to have a wide open space in front of him. 30, 35-yard line. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the best run Sully Richardson's had all season.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. Unbelievable. And you watch, if we were watching the routes, everybody pulled to the left. All the routes that were designed to go to the left, and Sully Richardson had green grass in front of him, and excellent job having the awareness to not needing, just you don't have to throw that ball. You're ahead, right? Just run the football.
It almost looked like the way you set up for a fake punt, right?
Yeah.
All the defense evacuates the area because everybody's going to the other side, and the quarterback or the punter just takes off. Richardson, back shoulder throw, incomplete, deflected by Patterson.
Yeah, William Patterson had a hand on that one, and you start to ask yourself, you run those what-if scenarios. What happens if Albuquerque would have came up with an interception there? But nonetheless, they didn't, and LA, again, in a 2nd and long.
The Adams really kind of need something like that. A turnover, a big shakeup in the game. Down by 2 scores with 8 minutes left, and LA trying to take some time off the clock. Which, if I'm LA, I would want to run the ball as much as possible and try and start taking time off the clock. But Richardson will throw. He's under pressure.
There
He
he goes
escapes.
again.
He takes off again and
Smart.
slides for a 4-yard gain. That is smart.
That's
Every time
exactly
I see a
what you
quarterback
want.
run and not slide, I get fearful that the ball's going to pop out.
Yeah, you and the coach on the sideline, I promise you that. Yeah, it's a smart play by Sully Richardson. That's exactly what you want out of a veteran quarterback, to know when to run and slide, protect yourself, and keep the chains moving.
Richardson rolls left, tries to take off again, and third time not the charm against this Albuquerque defense. Chris Porter with a big tackle, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, how about the big defensive end, Chris Porter, fanning outside. They literally fan him outside around the offensive tackle, the left tackle, and they want to keep him in coverage because at some point you have to start respecting the run from the quarterback, and that's exactly what they did there with Chris Porter.
Not often do I see a defensive end spying the quarterback, but I've seen it now, and Albuquerque's going to get the ball back with about 7 minutes left. This will be returned up near the 30. 28-yard lines where they'll spot it. And you got to feel like if it doesn't happen now, it's not going to happen at all for this Albuquerque offense.
Yeah, because we haven't seen the explosive plays out of Albuquerque that we've seen out of LA, right? If this were LA, you're like, oh, they can get a 50-yard pass, right? But it's not. These are the underneath route kind of concepts that Albuquerque's been running, and they got to go a little bit up-tempo.
Jive, middle, caught, Corky. 9-yard pickup. So currently 44 yards in this second half for Albuquerque, 161 for Los Angeles. As a counterpoint to that, Albuquerque had 203 yards of total offense in the first half.
Wow.
Williams, that was a deep handoff. And he loses a yard, 3rd and 2.
Yeah, and Sparrow coming around the outside there, blew that up in the backfield. That's a really good play for LA. But to talk a little bit more about this Albuquerque offense, Michael, if I will, or if I could, they're kind of set up to play conservatively. You see how good the completion percentage for Cyrus Jive has been. They're not built to play from behind.
Backed up running back, scrambled for the ball. Who's got it? The Lykens do. LA with maybe the game-winning play. Brogan Spearall recovers the fumble.
And forced it. That was unbelievable. Brogan Spearall forces that fumble, comes in, and that was, I don't know if you could ask for a better play on defense from the Lykens here. That was actually number 54, Greg Ward with the recovery. It was Brogan Spearall that forced it. Excellent play there by LA. Nonetheless,
Wow.
and Albuquerque's in trouble.
What did I say on the last drive? Albuquerque needed a turnover?
Yeah.
Well, and it's the LA Lykens that get the turnover, and they're in positive territory. I think another score by LA right now puts this game out of reach as Iniguez with one of his better runs tonight, 8 yards. We've got an update from SFL headquarters on some playoff scenarios. As the results have stacked up tonight, it is now win and in, lose and barbecue for Nashville tomorrow night. If Nashville loses, Atlanta gets in due to their head-to-head win over the Tempo from earlier in the season. So everything riding on that game. Wells, that was a great play by the defense. They had that one read before they snapped the ball. Patterson with a 3-yard loss.
Yeah, Patterson played contain there, and Bryant James initially shooting the gap and forcing the running back outside right into Patterson's arms that was textbook. That was really good run coverage there.
3rd and 5. I formation though. They just bring everybody into block. Richardson, a beautiful pass to Flash. Gorgeous touch on the out route. And it's another set of downs for LA.
That was unbelievable. Yeah, the touch was perfect. In between two defenders, and why not go to Flash, right? You haven't really targeted him all night. Nobody's looking at Flash. So, I mean, excellent job. LA has played such a complete game tonight, Michael. I don't know about you, but I feel like this has got to be one of the best performances I've seen from LA all season.
And time ticking away into the red zone. Oh, look out! Nobody's touching Iniguez before he gets down inside the 5.
That was
TJ Frosty with the touchdown saving tackle.
TJ Frosty has been so good tonight, but Wow. How about Iniguez? How about the blocking? You run that bunch, right? And everybody on that defense is thinking pass, pass, pass. When you see that bunch, what do? They run a toss to the outside of their speedster, Darius Iniguez, and whew, that's insane.
Long hold, handoff, Wells hat trick of rushing touchdowns, and LA puts this one out of reach.
Well, just when you think LA couldn't get any hotter, they score again, and that's exactly what they needed. That's exactly what the doctor ordered for the Lykens fan base here inside LA. An excellent play call there. Just run it up the middle with Wells, and he's been doing it all night, and LA doesn't look like this train's stopping anytime soon.
The lycanthrope lair is rocking on Sunday night. Thank you for the super chat, Trevon Prasad. I appreciate the compliments, everybody in the chat. I know it's been a while. It's been since week 3 this season since I've done an SFL game. I picked this one up late.
I think your last game was with me.
It was indeed.
The Mike and Mike show, baby. Welcome back.
No, I appreciate everybody, everybody's kind words. LA 27, Albuquerque 10. With that score, LA has now scored their second most points they've scored all season. The most points they scored this season was back in week 8, a 38-21 win over Indianapolis.
Huge fumble there. Albuquerque fumbles on the kick return. LA picks it up. Wow.
Everything coming up Lykens tonight.
This is, you couldn't ask for a more complete performance. This is insane.
And if they score another touchdown, they'll tie that record for the most points they scored in a season. This season, not a season.
Wow. I'm speechless right now. This LA team, look out. They're going out on a high note.
But remember what I said back in the first half when Albuquerque rattled off 10 straight points to tie the game? Handoff, middle, Iniguez. Because Richardson threw that interception, and the LA defense was on the field for a lot of that first quarter. And we said, oh, they're tired because they keep having to be on the field. It's the same thing for Albuquerque in this second half. They've been on the field for the majority of it. Time of possession in the second half, over 12 minutes for Los Angeles. Just 3 minutes and 53 seconds for Albuquerque.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. LA's been doing everything right, play calling wise.
You cannot hang your defense out to dry like that. They're going to get tired. They're going to give up yards. They're going to give up points. And Jalen Wells is a man possessed tonight.
Yeah. He looks like a man among boys out there tonight. I mean, unbelievable. You see the shoulder charge on the outside initially. Just a really good job there by Jalen Wells.
Backside. Brian James had nothing for Jalen Wells, who is looking potentially for his 4th rushing touchdown of the night. That would give him
crazy.
10 on the season.
Well, the way it's looking, they're not going to have a problem running it.
No. Inside 2:40 to go at the snap. It's Iniguez, and he rolls over to the 1, 1st and goal. Oh, no, Iniguez is hurt. Well, a slight downturn to the great night for Los Angeles.
Yeah, you hate to see it, especially so late in the game.
And you feel for Darius, right? Because he's been so close, so close, so close, and it's just been Wells punching in at the end of these drives.
Yeah, that's not to let his production go unnoticed, though. Don't worry, Darius. We recognize your production. Had some big plays tonight, fella.
2nd and goal from the 2-yard line. Pitch. Wells short.
Wow, that was a great defensive play by Daniel Valentine there. Stopping it. Now 3rd and goal. We've seen this situation a few times earlier the same situation, this 3rd and goal situation, and you got to wonder, does Albuquerque stack the box in this situation, or I mean, do they play the run, or do they drop back again?
I think you got to play the run, right? You got
to respect
Jalen Wells back there dotting the I. And we'll figure that out after the 2-minute warning. Well, it was close at halftime, but it's been all Lykens in this second half. Will Wells get his 4th? He's going to get the carry, and he's going to get the touchdown. Numero 4 for Jalen Wells. What a night for number 34.
He has been excellent tonight, Michael, in every way possible. He has been the workhorse for this Lykens offense, and look, they're scoring a season high right now in points, and not just against any team, against a team that's already clinched in the playoffs. This is an excellent performance from an excellent player, and Jalen Wells having himself a night.
Jalen Wells, coming into the game, was 9th in rushing TDs in the league with 6. He's now got 10 on the season. Riley Quintero leads the league with 14. I gotta think, I'm not looking at the ratings right now, I gotta think that puts him into the top 5 at least. What a night for Wells.
It has to.
Albuquerque hang on to the ball for one thing. They do to the 29. 154 left, 34 to 10. I'm now looking to see how many points the Albuquerque Adams gave up this season. And if this is a season high for them too, because it very well might be. No, Baltimore put 51 on them in week 4, but that was all the way back in week 4. Since then, the most points they've given up was 27 to Arizona.
Wow. It's been impressive showing from LA.
The 5-game win streak for Albuquerque will be snapped. It'll be a 3-game win streak to end the season for LA. As that pass into the flat goes to Ronnie Shanahan, that's his first catch of the evening.
Yeah, and if you're Albuquerque, you know, it's not too much of a big deal, right? You've already clinched in the playoffs. Obviously, you wanted the home field advantage, but you got to accept the fact that, you know, you kind of let things get out of hand here, and that's all credit to LA's run game. You know what I mean? They kept Albuquerque's defense out on the field, and you can't ask any defense to be out on the field for the, you know, majority of a half.
Yeah. We do have one wild card matchup confirmed for next weekend. It'll be number 10 Charleston at number 7 Fort Worth, a rematch of the season 21 quarterfinals when Charleston lost both of their quarterbacks to injury and had their punter finish the game under center and lost 35-6.
Wow.
One of the most memorable games, unfortunately for the wrong reasons, in league history. And a great one-handed catch out there on the far side, K. Marion. K. Marion's had a pretty good game. 5 catches, 46 yards.
Yeah, K. Marion is very, very underrated, and she's been having just a quietly good season. You know, she's been so dependable for Albuquerque.
Down the field, Marion again. Albuquerque not using that last timeout with 1:25 to go.
See, and this is what I was talking about, Michael.
Oh, it's picked off. I was just about to sing the praises of Cyrus Jai for having a pretty good night. His one interception on a deflection, but that one was just a poor read over the middle.
You and I both. I was going to say the same thing. Great job by Rochelle Colston. She's playing man coverage there. She's just kind of hawking there. They're letting her sit back and just hawk there. And, I mean, really good job just recognizing it was a slant route and undercutting it. I mean, they knew what was coming. But, wow, L.A., I can't say much more.
Interception number 5 on the year for Rochelle Colston. She ties Monte Wyatt with a team lead in takeaways. Ben Charbs, with his performance on defense tonight for the Lykens, goes over 100 tackles on the season.
How about Wells had no business getting to the 3rd level there. I mean, the blocking has been outstanding for LA. You've got your fullback going up to pick up the safety. That's pretty freaking good blocking, Michael.
If Mexico City wins tomorrow night, Albuquerque travels to Carolina in the first round of the playoffs. If Nashville wins, it bumps the Adams all the way down to the 11 seed, and they have to go rematch at Baltimore, who they gave up 51 points to in week 4. So I think we know who Albuquerque is rooting for tomorrow night.
Easy to say.
Not to put any damper on Albuquerque's season, expansion franchise rarefied air for Albuquerque at 7-5. The best record for an expansion team since Minnesota came in the league in season 19.
That's pretty good shoes to fill.
That'll do it. Time will run off the clock. The coaches, Jason Williams and Rochelle Colston, Sully Richardson, Chris Porter will shake hands at midfield. This was an LA landslide in the second half. I'm just going to start by reading you the second half stats. 227 yards of total offense for Los Angeles. 107 passing, 124 rushing. An average of 5.7 yards per play. 14 minutes of ball control time as opposed to just 4 for Albuquerque. They outpossessed them in the second half by 10 minutes. That's the game right there.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I mean, you're talking about 171 rushing yards on the ground. And let's be honest, right? Wells took over this game. He became the X factor. We talked about Chris Lee in the first half. Wells took over in the second half. Any game where your running back can have 4 touchdowns, that is a heck of a night. And, man, LA couldn't have came in here with a better game plan. They did the right thing. They came out, they got ahead early. Albuquerque's they're not built to play from behind. And really good job there from the Lykens. Wells had an excellent game.
Sully Richardson, 12 of 22. Not great on the completion percentage, just a shade over 50%. 1 interception, 231 yards. Didn't throw a touchdown pass, but didn't need to. His top receiver, Chris Lee, 5 catches on 7 targets, 144 yards on 5 catches. That's insane. Elsie Pryor also great, 58 yards on 4 catches. But the story tonight, Jalen Wells, 77 yards on 17 carries with 4 touchdowns. Darius Iniguez also 70 yards on 15 carries. Unfortunately injured right at the end, did not get to the end zone. A couple of notables for Albuquerque. Cyrus Jive, 25 of 35 for 237 yards and 2 touchdowns. His top receiver was Greg Corky, 8 catches, 84 yards. K. Marion, 6 for 65. Jack Wall, 6 for 66. Running the ball, Jason Williams, 71 yards on 14 carries for a touchdown, but it just wasn't enough in the end. And as the lead grew in the second half, they had to abandon the run game altogether.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, overall, just dominant performance by LA in the second half. And you go on a 24-0 run in the second half, and I think you're going to win that football game. So shout out to the Lykens for ending in the season on a good note.
The Lykens go into the season on a high note. They win their last 3 games. They end their season 5-7. Albuquerque has their 5-game winning streak snapped. They'll head to the playoffs at 7-5. They'll have to await the end of the Monday Night Spectacular to see who they will play. That's tomorrow. Tune in to see who the final playoff teams will be. For Cameron Irvine in the studio, Axel Raven and Ron Haynes on stats, and Mike O'Neill next to me in the broadcast booth. My name is Michael Torillo. A pleasure as always to bring you SFL football. We will see you tomorrow.